Woody,
Kevin.
and today with Carport Garage, we're going to be doing a Gen-Right tire carrier install on a JL. These are really good. It replaces the body, it replaces the tailgate hinges with some heavy-duty hinges, and it's got some bracketry that's going to mount on the driver's side. It's really good for heavier tires. He's only on 35s right now. His next step is going to be a 37 or bigger. So he wanted to go ahead and kind of be ready for that when he's ready to make that move. So
It is aluminum, so it's lighter weight. Kind of help with the weight of the tire.
yeah, so it's supposed to be a rattle-free unit. We're going to get everything put together, get all the fine tuning done, and then we'll give you some feedback, let you know what we think. Alright guys, so a quick tip when you're dealing with the Torx bolts on the Jeeps, anything 87 or newer, they're going to have a ridiculous amount of Torx bolts. A lot of times they're painted after everything gets put together, so you've got a hard layer of paint that you need to break through. What a lot of people like to do, ourselves included, you get your Torx socket in place and then give it a couple of good solid taps with a hammer. If you watch it, you can watch the head of that socket sink down into the bolt, and then from there you should be able to pop it loose. We had already broken these, so everything's coming apart no problem. You can also look at, they call it an impact driver. That's a little tool that you would hold and you would hit that with a hammer, and those are awesome if you know how to not hit your hand with a hammer. But otherwise they just fucking suck. So we're gonna finish knocking this out, get the hinges swapped over, get everything set up, and then we'll come check back in a moment. Okay, so these tools right here are extremely convenient. I found this one at the junkyard, but I'm pretty sure they're only about 15 or 20 bucks. But what you can do, you get it behind that rubber lip, and you just run it along and pry as you go. And that rubber trim will pull right on across and get everything seated just like it's supposed to. These are lifesavers. All right, so we're kind of wrapping up on the tire carrier install. You can see it's assembled, it's holding a tire, it's not falling off of the Jeep. It ended up being a good bit more work than anticipated. There was the third brake light wiring that we had to do. We had to strip all of the third brake light and camera wiring from the inside of the tailgate, which was a lot of fun because there was also a fold down worktop table kind of unit here with its own wiring harness that everything had to get pulled out to strip out the wiring. I've got it all tucked back away in the factory location. Kevin went home a little while ago. He had to get back to his family. I'm just kind of doing all the cleanup. We've done our testing. Everything fits. Everything is functional. And so I'm just going to take some time, get everything buttoned up, and kind of wrap it up for the night. My back hurts. I'm old, and I'm ready for a beer. And we'll once I kind of wrap up everything, I'll do a quick little shot on the actual tailgate and how everything looks together. I think ultimately it is a nice unit. There were some things that I'll kind of point out in the final, and it wasn't a Gen-Right manufacturing issue, it was just some other stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna get everything buttoned up, and I'll do a quick follow-up once everything's put together, if I am still conscious, and we will go from there. All right, so tire carrier job is finally wrapped up. It's a very beefy unit. It is not making any noises whatsoever. We did lubricate all of the bushings with a bushing lubricant from Energy Suspension. It wasn't really part of their install process, but anytime we deal with bushings, we like to use this stuff. It's amazing, keeps things a lot quieter over the course of its life. The tire carrier has the option of the license plate mount as well as the third brake light and camera mount. He wanted everything to work just like it did from the factory. So as you can see, we've got the license plate illuminated. Of course, I've got it covered right now. The camera is mounted, everything is functioning, as well as the third brake light. It's a really nice setup. It's got the retainer pins over here, and then heavy duty hinges down here, replaces the factory hinges. It's also got a stopper so that when it swings open, the stopper will drop into a hole in a bracket, keep it from opening too far. I expect he's going to be really happy with it. If you ever went to a 42, the tire mount can be flipped for a larger tire. Completely unnecessary for 35 and 37. You know, keep it low, better visibility out of the back window. But that is going to be it for this episode. We appreciate you sticking around. This is probably the most stressful one we've had so far, and I've earned this, and I'm about to enjoy the hell out of it. So stick around, like, subscribe, share if you will, and we'll look forward to having some more fun in the future.